This is the Lutema Avatar 4-channel remote control helicopter. This particular one is red. They make other colors, I believe. Included with the helicopter are the instructions, which are pretty basic. Some spare blades. They give you 3 of the smaller, tail rotor blades and 2 of the larger, overhead blades. A micro charging cable, and then the remote control, which kind of looks like an oversized PlayStation remote control or something along those lines. As I said, the instructions are basic. They only provide QR codes really for more details and flight instructions that you could look up online. And that's good and bad, I guess, in some instances. I would have liked to see a little bit better instructions with this. The screws for replacing the blades, though, and I'll show you the blades up front, are kind of small and pretty easy to lose as well. So, again, that's something you got to be mindful of if you have to replace the blades. Now, this helicopter is about 8 inches long. Let me put it in my hand here so you can kind of get a perspective of the size. About 8 inches long with 2 top rotor mechanisms here, the tail rotor, and then a couple side stabilizing rotors as well on each side. The helicopter has a power switch. Let me point it out on this side here. As you can see, I've already got it on with the flashing lights to let me know about the battery status, that kind of thing. In addition to a charging cable plug on the other side, and again, you can see the different flashing lights and that kind of thing that it has on it. But you don't really, it charges fairly quickly, but you don't really get a long flight time, maybe 10 to 15 minutes on each charge. The charging lights on each side indicate that it's charged or fully charged while you're charging it. And as you can see, the front light that indicates whether it's paired or not, and you can turn that off or on during flying. Again, the remote's fairly large, probably a little bit larger than I would like to see. It could be a little thinner, I think, but it basically has your basic controls here, your on-off, different channel buttons. In this case, this particular helicopter works on channel C. The trim control and the light and speed controls here, and then there's also a demo button as well. This isn't as difficult to fly as some smaller minicopters that I've tried, and I'm not a great pilot by any means, but it does require a little learning curve and takes a little bit of practice to get a smooth flight. But the copter, for the most part, seems to be well made. It has a wire frame here for its tail, and in the inside underneath this plastic cover here with a plastic shell cover on the outside. The one area that is a little bit of concern is the landing gear here is also plastic. It to me seems a little bit fragile in that respect. And I'm not sure how well this will be able to take a hard crash. It's probably best suited for flying inside more than outside. But I will say, though, after a couple hard landings, which you could coin that crashes, I've not had any issue with this as yet. And this is a fun toy to play with inside. It's probably best suited as a kid's flyer. Although, as an adult, I kind of have fun playing with it as well. But again, it's probably a bit too fragile to be used as an outside flyer, but a decent quadcopter for inside flight. I give it 4 stars.